So yeah, next up we have panel. Please welcome our Women in Code directors. We have Hope Oluwalolope, Shwetha Lakshman, and Michie, and our panel host, Anjali Menon, who is a leadership fellow at Women in Code. And during this panel, you will learn from Women in Code leaders how to leverage community leadership opportunities to build on your personal and career growth. This panel will discuss why tech professionals should get involved in a tech community, what opportunities open when you get involved, mentorship experiences, and how you can collaborate and get involved in Women in Code communities. Please welcome them to the stage.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much, Sapphire, for the introduction. Hi, everyone, I'm Anjali, like Sapphire said, a leadership fellow of Women Who Code blockchain track and your host for today's panel discussion. I'm super excited to be joined on this panel with Hope, Shwetha, and Michie. Hope is the director of the Lagos network, which was activated in 2019. Shwetha is the director of the Bangalore network, which was activated in 2015. And we have Michie, who's the director of the Manila network in the Philippines, which was activated in 2016. So during this panel, we'll be talking about how to leverage the community leadership opportunities to build on your personal and career growth, and why tech professionals should get involved in the tech community. Also, we'll talk about what are the opportunities open and how can you get involved with the community. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let's start with a round of introduction. And could all of you also share the memory of the first time you led an event at Women Who Code? Hope, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Hope, and I'm a software engineer currently working in Microsoft, where I build services to manage Azure-based platform. I'm also a director at Women Code Lagos, like you mentioned. So, and the first time we had an event was in September 2019, which was our launch event. And a fun memory I can remember around that time was, so we were planning our launch event, right? And meaning I had not met every other director in the network at that time in person. So we were literally just chatting via phone, WhatsApp, Slack, and all. And few days to the event, I lost my phone. And in Nigeria, where there is like limited access to internet, losing your phone means you've lost access to internet. So there is like no public Wi-Fi or anything. So there was no way I could contact them. There was no way I could, message them. And it was scary because I was like, there were things I needed to do and I wanted to communicate with them. So I didn't know how I ended up doing that, or I didn't know how we ended up, communicating back to each other, but we ended up communicating somehow. And I think I was able to tell them that, hey, I lost my phone, so, but I'm with you, just, you can call me via this new number or something. And it ended up going on smoothly. So I met them at the event. We met like in person for the first time at the event, which was so much fun. But that experience just taught me that it was so nice to have other people, to have amazing people you can plan an event with. Because I could have imagined that if I was the only one planning this, losing my phone meant a lot on the event. But having other people that could carry on and just like fill in the space for you, even if you are dealing with things, was so nice and amazing. So that's what I can remember.
Wow, I think hope it's great that how you dealt with the situation, and hope you don't lose your phone anytime in the future now. Yeah. That's great. Thank you, Hope, for sharing your experience. And also, thank you for leading the network as well. And I know that you have a full time job as a software engineer. It would have been really difficult to manage, but you're doing a great job. Shweta, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm Shwetha Lakshman Rao with about 15 plus years of industry experience, and I'm a manager at VMware Software India. And I have been associated with Women Who Code for last 5 to 6 years, and currently the senior director, one of the five senior directors of Women Who Code across the globe. I also have a patent on high availability. And with my passion towards technology, I keep innovating, researching on different areas, and keep presenting my papers in different national and international conferences. And I have been judged for different hackathons, one of the prominent being Smart India Hackathon, which is the world's most biggest hackathon across the globe. And I have been mentoring and inspiring people through Women Who Code community. And I have been awarded with VMware's prestigious Epic 2 award and applaud her 2019 by Women Who Code, and have been invited by different forums like Google's Women Techmakers, AWS community, and so on. So it has always been a pleasure being associated with Women Who Code. I remember the very first event that we hosted was around 2016, March 3rd. That was the launch event, though the Bangalore chapter is existing, but it was not active. So when I took over, it was about 450 members. And today we have grown up to 7,000 plus. And I remember the day when I met Elena and Joey for the launch event, and the room was full of women with about 250 members, and from there on, it's never reduced. It's on and on the kind of impact that we are doing. So I think that is the best part that has happened to me to be associated with Women Who Code.
Thanks for sharing that, Shweta. And it's really inspiring and amazing your life journey, and really inspiring to see what all you have done in your life, and of course, to Women Who Code community as well. So, Mishi, would you like to go next and share your
Oh,
experience?
thank you, Anjali. So, hi everyone. Hi everyone around the world. Hi to women of Old Manila as well. Yeah, wherever you are watching right now, tap in. Kamusta kayo? And first of all, I'm Michie. I think I've been in this industry for almost 10 years now, but I didn't really have like a CS background or anything. So I started as a nurse, and I technically went on and shifted to this career by accident when a friend invited me to like learn iOS development. So that's how it started, and then I went around trying to actually finding out different communities here in the Philippines, and basically um, grew my career or grew my experience because of joining events, joining hackathons, joining different workshop and stuff. And and the next thing I know, I'm actually starting Women of Old Manila, right? So I think that's kind of like the thing. So if there's like the first event, it took a while. I think I reached out to I answered this form, like a director's form. You wanted to lead uh, you want to start a network, um, and I've sent out I submitted a form, and then a few months later, Joey, hi Joey, reached out to me and then paired me with Ange. So Ange is my co network starter, and we basically just like okay, hit it off, and then kind of like discuss. So what do we want to do? What do we want to like? How we do this? So it took a while before we actually start, and it was around January 2017. And for our first event, Ange actually created the cupcakes and stuff. It's just for fun. And then we reach out to actually different what do you call this, like maybe spaces who can offices or spaces that can lend us space. And this was actually our first team picture. Like yeah, sorry. And we're just like 12 here, including the one in the photo. And from the 12 members here, we became good friends. And at the same time, it slowly but surely we started doing events. Almost every Saturday we have events. We meet and we chat and we learn about the community and how we can actually help. And then we did conferences from one point to another, and you'll see how passionate the what they call this everybody is just to help out, help somebody from the community, help one person, like learn, be a mentor, volunteer and stuff. So it went from 12 people or 2 people or 2.5 people, because Renz is actually Ange's husband, and he's actually helping us just in the back. He doesn't want to be in front because he wanted the women to be highlighted. And now I think we are almost around 2,000 plus to 3,000 members um, in Manila. So it's kind of like that, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, thanks for sharing that, Michi. And of course, your background is really impressive. I know a lot of women in Women Who Code, they come and they ask this question. So, if we do not belong to a tech background, how can we get involved? And you are a real inspiration for all of them. And thank you for sharing your stories today. So, with that, I would also like to know that why do you think that it's important for tech professionals, especially, to get involved in the tech community?
Maybe I can take this question. So the first and foremost important thing, right? To understand what is happening in the industry, to know what is the tech trends, to see what is there for next 2 years or 3 years in the industry, right? Being associated with the tech communities are very important. You will get to understand the industry perspective, not just restricting from what is the vision or mission of their own respective organization. So in that way, people will get a holistic view of what is happening in the industry. Many times it happens that their regular deliverable will not have opportunity for them to go and explore beyond what is happening in the industry trends, right? So that is one of the opportunity. The next thing is networking, which is very important. It's not that always networking is done only for looking for the career opportunities. Networking is equally important to know what is happening in the industry, right? And also build that kind of network where you have like-minded people, where you come together, uh, work towards a cause. It could be in terms of contributing towards a community, or work for a hackathon, or work for presenting a technical paper in different conferences. It also helps in expanding the domain knowledge. As I mentioned, many times people will be restricting to their own area of work, right? Whatever their regular deliverable will be expecting for. When you come to the communities, when you contribute to the communities, you will start learning new technologies, and that's how you start expanding your horizontal knowledge, not just the vertical knowledge on specific technology that you work. So in that way, right, it helps you build holistically. And along with all these things, as you start contributing to the technical communities, directly indirectly you start building your leadership skills, leadership styles. You know how to handle different situation, you know how to lead the community. So these kind of things will obviously help people to get back to their work and showcase those skills, demonstrate, and get into better career roles. So it surely help in growing in their technical career ladder.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to add some points to what Shweta said. So I wanted to expand the last point. People just think joining a community is just about learning technical things. Yeah, expanding your network, which is good, but we always overlook the part that you tend to learn some important soft skills that is like really needed in your career. She mentioned about leadership, but even presentation, communication, which is super important. So being able to be in a community, if you are, even if it's just as small as teaching in a network, I mean, a like small network in maybe like in Women Code Lagos right now, you are taking a meetup and you're just sharing a knowledge. You are communicating. You have to prepare. How do I pass this knowledge from me to somebody? And that is something that is important when even in your day-to-day work, right? Because you have to either explain a code you've written to someone, you have to do a review, you have to do design reviews. So learning that kind of skill is something you can really, really do in a community that you may not have that leverage to do in your day-to-day work. So I see it as a practice zone that, okay, I realize this skill is something I don't have. Like, okay, I don't have presentation skills, and it's important for me to have these presentation skills. A place you can build that is in a community. If you join a community, reach out to any of, the community leads. They would gladly, in Lagos, we are looking for people that will say, hey, I want to teach this, or I want to pass this knowledge. We are looking for that. We are looking for people like that. So any community lead or director will be happy to say, I want to present this. They will definitely open the floor for you. So, and that's a place where you can practice on things you would probably not have that platform. You won't probably have that platform to do it in your normal day-to-day job.
Wow, I completely agree with both of you, Hope and Shweta. In fact, for me personally, I am the leadership fellow of the blockchain track. But when I started off, I was not very much familiar with blockchain. So before my leadership fellow started, I started to dig up and increase my knowledge so that when I'm offering something to the community, I am increasing my knowledge in that part. But this is the point rightly said, because we are like so much focused on our day to day work that we forget that there are new emerging technologies coming up and we need to catch up. And the community is the best way. And with the community members, we can learn and grow together. So in a community, you're not alone. You have people along with you to, we have study groups, you can learn together and grow together. So that's the best part, even I feel, about the community. And thank you for sharing that as well. So now I have a question for the audience. So why don't you share with us your experience of being a member at Fumino Code? How has it changed your career? And we will be reading the answers at the end of the panel. So please share it in the comment section. All right. So coming back to the panel discussion, the other thing that I'm interested to know about is that what kind of opportunities started opening up to you once you became the leader of your community?
So I can take a start on this, Anjali. So just want to share on my there's a reason why I brought Women of Code to Manila, or I started Women of Code to Manila, because first thing first, when I was in the US, attended some events, and I actually joined Women of Code, and I there's this chance where I saw, like, for example, there was a scholarship program offered only to Women of Code members, and I said, okay, does it mean that I have to actually be here in the US or be in an international, like, in short, outside the country, just to get these opportunities? And that's and in my mind it would be like it's kind of like it would be not really unfair, but there's what do you call this, um in my mind, I said, oh, it's sad because if you're in my country, you never went out of the country, you won't get this opportunity. So that's basically it. And I said, okay, because of that, I'll start. What are the things that I can bring outside of the country? Like, because as I mentioned, when I was learning, I was actually traveling and learning as well. And at the same time, I was, joining events outside the country as well. So what I did was I start bringing them one by one here, and one of them is Women of Old Manila. And what opportunities actually start opening up once I became a leader is that my mission that time was to actually give opportunities to my fellow countrymen, specifically to the members of the Women of Code, and seeing whatever they what they call it, they have accomplished right now, seeing them getting scholarships, getting what they call this, getting hired in different in the career of their choice, getting a increase in salary that they deserve. I think um, for me that is like what do you call this, for me those are the opportunities that has opened up, because my goal to actually what do you call this, um, when my for my goal of when starting Women Hold Manila, and for me personally as a leader, I actually met so much people, so many friends outside the country, so many like you, Shweta. I met Shweta before Women of Code Connect, and then I just met Anjali right now and Hope, sharing their story. I met Shana and Elena and Joey, everybody, right? And it's such a like what they call this. Women of Code is kind of like bring everybody together in such a way that wherever you are in the world, you're basically connected, right? And that's actually the opportunity that, as a leader, what Women of Code gave me. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Sorry. How
That's
about you, Shweta?
powerful. Thank you
Oh.
for sharing it, Michi.
I would like to add a couple of things on what Mishi mentioned, right? Um, the kind of opportunities that had started opening up after getting associated with Women Who Code was like, as I mentioned, I started getting the invites from Google's Women Tech Makers, AWS community for as a motivational speaker, as well as lots of opportunities also started opening for technical sessions as well. I was invited for Google I/O because of my contribution towards the women in the community over here in India. Beyond this, there were lots of opportunities where people from different organizations started reaching out to me to go and present about my passion towards innovation, the career growth path, and many more. And it also opened up for lots of opportunities for becoming a judge, a mentor in different hackathons. And I got opportunities to lead different initiatives at my organization at India level. So holistically, this started building my leadership skills as well, and it gave me lots of understanding on how to drive on different initiatives. So this was an amazing opportunity that I have got.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with both of your points, and I can totally relate to it. Even I feel that the community has given a lot of opportunities to all of us, and I know the members, fellow members, who would agree with me. And yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I think,
Also,
Anjali, you also
yeah,
got opportunity to be the speaker at Women Who Code Connect India way back.
yeah. I mean, yes, definitely. I think that was my first speaking experience at a global conference, and at that time I was an undergraduate student, so I was very scared that I was technically strong, but my presentation skills were really bad, and I was very nervous at this stage. But I think the community was an in-person event, and I remember when I started my talk, I was a bit nervous, but everybody around me, they just cheered me, and that brought the confidence in me, and I was confidently able to deliver my talk. And I think that is what the community brings together. I mean, nobody is going to laugh at you or mock at you. They are going to encourage you, and that's the best part. And thank you, Shweta, for highlighting that. I was just talking to Shweta the other day, and in fact, Shweta was the director at that time for Code Connect India. And thank you, Shweta, for giving me that opportunity. Thank you again.
You deserve it.
Yes, that's the girl power that
Yeah.
Code brings along. Awesome. So, with that, could you also share about a personal experience on how you can leverage your community leadership experiences into new opportunities? I know that some of the points you have already mentioned about how you have benefited at your career level. You're getting new leadership opportunities, calls from the other organizations. But any other personal experience that you would like to share, which can motivate our community members as well?
Okay, so let me start on that. Um, so I mentioned that, earlier that what joining a community can give to you is learning soft skills and, like Shweta said, leadership skills. So for me, I joined Microsoft recently. I just joined Microsoft like about a year and few months back. And when I joined, as a new hire, you are just in the company and you are really not making any meaningful contribution yet. But I was looking for ways to still be able to contribute and looking for, ways where I can add value to the team. And one of those ways is kind of building this initiative of planning an happy hour in my team, which nobody had done before that time. Plus, it was a pandemic, so we were all working virtually. You get it. And for me, that's like easy peasy. I mean, compared to what I do at Women Who Could or the events I have to plan. Planning and happy hour or a get together was just like, I mean, okay. So but it was like so impactful that even till today, people still like give me credit for it and be like, oh, I'm so happy you did this. Like you're so good in planning this. And I'm like, okay. Because it looks so easy to do, but I could share their sentiments. I'm seeing it as easy because this is a skill I've built over time. Planning several events is not easy. I shared the story of our launch event and how it was not easy. And we've planned several events over time till now, series of events. And, it's not like, okay, and planning and happy hour is like so easy for me, but I didn't get there one day, right? So this is something that I know was something that really helped me personally from the experiences I've been able to build over time. It wasn't even just planning a happy hour. I started planning different events in my organization, right, in Microsoft, like for several ERJs. Like at that point, somebody literally messaged me one day and was like, oh, I hope we are planning so event, and someone said I should reach out to you that you can really help out in planning. And I'm like, okay, really? I'm, I'm not so great, but it's like your good work always spread out there. But I just keep saying, this is not an experience I just built overnight. Like I said, Women Who Could gave me that practice zone where I could practice the skill of organizing, planning, presenting. And right now it looks so easy for me to be able to do it in my current organization where I work, right? Yeah, so that's one time for me.
I'll add to Hope. Hope, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, for me, what I could say here is that, for example, let's say, um, because I step up to become a leader, I was able to actually understand the concerns of the members and being able to understand that, oh, this is happening in our current situation right now. Let's say, for example, somebody's only hiring male developers and they feel that women should be in the sales or what, then that is something that as a leader, I should actually change and I should create, take action. So being able to actually reach out to different companies, um, you know, um, reaching out to them and talking what are their strategies in getting more women into tech and so forth and so more. I can actually influence them and tell them this is what's happening and this is what we can change. And at the same time, because I've talked to different companies all over the Philippines, I'm able to actually reach out and understand how I can actually bring these opportunities to the community and vice versa. And Women of Code actually opened that up. So that's just one of my experience.
Thanks for sharing that, Michi and Hope. And it's really good that Michi, you're taking the initiative to listen to what your members want, and you're like taking the step ahead to go and make the life easier for them. And that's really inspiring, really. So that brings me to my next question. I would like to know that if you could share an example of a time when you mentored somebody and they gained an amazing opportunity. So it could be anything. It could be a job promotion or a new job or their first speaking opportunity.
I can share some examples. I have been mentoring a couple of engineers, and they have started taking up different roles at Women Who Code Bangalore chapter, like directors, leaders, evangelists. And I get to hear from them that when they started with their career just before joining the Women Who Code community, right, their LinkedIn profile would show like single digit or two digit kind of networks, and today they claim that they have in thousands. So that is the kind of network that they have built, and people look at them. That is amazing thing, right? And beyond this, many of the team members also get to go and present in different technical forums, and they are being looked as technical leaders. They are also being looked as role models among their team members. I think some of these things are amazing because the success of the leader is not by what extent we grow, but rather how our people people around us grow, right? Another good example is one of the women engineer. She had taken a break for about 7 years, and many of you may be aware that VMware and Women Who Code came together for this wonderful initiative, VM Inclusion Tara, and which helps women to get back to work. So she took up that course, and she was the first one to complete the entire course, and she was the first one to get placed in VMware. And I was not aware till I meet her in VMware campus, and she narrated this story that she was attending the events that we were hosting, and today she is part of VMware and inspiring many more people to come back to the tech industry. I think that is the ripple effect that we could see, which make us more proud about the kind of work that we are doing.
I totally agree with you, Shweta. Yeah. So I mean, it's something that as leaders, like in Women of Code, we discuss this. Like we when we step up, it's not really just about us. It's about being able to actually give back to the community and realizing the effect after effect, or means sometimes people would come to you and say, hey, did you know I got a raise, or I was able to actually do this and that. It's just like, oh wow, it's because of like an event that you did, right? Or an event that you started, or an event that the leaders have started. And seeing that, what do you call this, that ripple effect, it's just amazing that whatever you're doing right now, it's giving somebody else an opportunity to rise up. And I think just that's just an addition to like the mentoring, what Shweta said, and it's just amazing. I don't know, how about you guys, do you agree? Sorry.
Absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with all of your points, and it's good to see that the community is also like benefiting and growing. Even I have one experience to share. So, within the Women Who Code blockchain volunteers, we had once a sync up. So, during the sync up, one of the volunteers, she mentioned that, I'm working so hard, but my salary is too low, and I don't know what to do, and I'm just stuck with this job. And then the other member, she said, okay, why don't you try with the salary negotiation? Salary negotiation is a topic which is not very often discussed, and I think it's like very much important. And I think after the discussion, 2 days back, the volunteers, like she came back to us and she let us all know that, she spoke to her boss and he agreed to give her a raise because she was working hard. She deserved that raise. So there is no harm in asking, and I think that was a learning point for me as well. And also that's what the community gives you. You get to like learn so much from each other and grow as well. So yeah, great to know. Now let's also talk about the community successes. So if you could share about any event or series or any initiative that you led in your community, which was a huge success and had a great impact on your community members.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start with Women Who Code Lagos on that one. So, um, we our last in-person event, because we got launched 2019, September 2019, and when we got launched, our launch event, we had like maybe like 20 people attend the event, and it was still new and all that. Then fast forward to like 2020, early in 2020, in January, we decided to do this event called Tech Career Roadmap. It's more or less like an event where we have speakers come to talk about different career aspects, like different roles in tech, not just coding that everybody knows. So different aspects, and also having a panel session of people sharing their career stories. And at that event, we had approximately 120 people, and 90% of them were female. Like that was the first ever event in the country where you were going to see 90% women in an event. So it was like so amazing. And funny enough, we had a panel session that was all women. And then we had a guy interviewing them as the moderator. So, it was like fun because you could see amazing women doing awesome things in tech. They were sharing their stories on how they were able to get to where they were, and having women in the audience listen to them, was really, really amazing. Then it's not just even the listening, it's the impact it had on the people that came for the event, because they were able to, like I said, we had, different sessions on these are the different roles in tech. It's not just about front end, it's not about back end. There is product management, there is quality assurance, there is this aspect in tech. So it gave people were able to like say, oh, I didn't know that, tech is not just about coding. These are like different opportunities I can see, and I can even go for myself and go to pursue. And trust me, most of the women that came that day, because I can still remember some of them, they're like doing amazing for themselves right now. That's like one. Unfortunately, that was like our last in-person event. So yeah, but then later on that year, we had something called Algorithm and Data Structure Series. And what we wanted to do with that was to, create this atmosphere of get ready for technical interview, because in Nigeria, where Lagos is, technical interviewing for Fortune 500 company wasn't common. It's not like a big thing. It's like an impossible thing, literally. So we wanted to bring that, wanted to, show people that this is interviewing is it's not easy, right? But it is doable. And we met every Sunday, and we would solve questions, we would take up concepts, important concepts to prepare for in interviews, and we'll talk about it, we'll solve questions on it. And towards the end of that series, we had several people from these different companies that were Nigerians. So you could see that, okay, I can see a Nigerian that works in Google, works in Microsoft, works in Bloomberg. So you can see that this is real, right? And then we had them talk to them about the interview process, how they went through it, and how to prepare for it and all that. So it was good for them to listen to other people that look like them, that had gone through that process. And then we also did this. So what we did was that we were like, oh, for consistent persistence, we are going to pair you up with these people you've gotten to listen to as engineers from these components. We pair you up with them so that you can set up mock interviews if you're preparing for interviews. And I didn't even know some of them were literally already applying and preparing for interviews. And that mock interview was super helpful to them, because right now they are in Fortune 500 companies. So that's like, some stories that just gives me comfort and keeps me doing what we do. You get it? Yeah.
Thanks for
Um,
sharing that, Hope. I think that was that is like really amazing, and it's good to know the experience that you're bringing to your community even after COVID, because everything was virtual, and it's a different experience for everybody. But yeah, good to know that your community is like growing in, and you're bringing in important events like algorithms, which is definitely very much important. Algorithms, data structure is something that almost most of the tech companies, they ask for a software engineer position. And yeah, I think you're bringing in like great events.
I would like to
Awesome.
share an experience. So basically, we have been driving different kind of sessions, technical leadership sessions at Women Who Code Bangalore, and we wanted to go beyond, and we wanted to give that kind of exposure and experience to people outside Bangalore as well. And VMware has this VMware hands-on lab, which is available at free of cost. So we collaborated with Women Who Code Taiwan, where we educated a bunch of women from the Women Who Code Taiwan community on virtualization and Kubernetes. And in most of the Asian countries, the the kind of communication that happens is in the local language, not the English. So these wonderful volunteers of Taiwan, they translated the content from English, whatever we taught them, into Taiwanese, and they published it. And that has reached more than 4,000 people. So that is the kind of impact that we made it together for the the better development of the community. I think that is one of the best example of how we can go beyond our limits. It's not necessary that you be in a specific region to make the impact over there. And uh, hope Michie and we were discussing on how to expand some of these kind of initiatives for other countries like Philippines and Lagos. So that is something that people can watch it for.
Don't worry, Shweta. I'll add that to the list. All right, we're gonna bring that to Manila. So yeah, on my end, any event like series, there's so much good memories, right? Hope Shweta, when like especially the in-person events, right? It's hard to choose what event that I can share, but I guess during our first year we had this hackathon. It's an all women hackathon, and I think we got almost 200 people who attended. 120 were all women who actually first time participated in a hackathon, and it was a 3-day event. Nobody went home except for one mom. She has to go home because she has to take care of her kids. But we also set up like a daycare, like kind of like a mini hackathon for kids on the side, just to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to really enjoy and learn with the community. And that was like the first year. This was our main event during the first year. And even after like how many years we are right now, like I can't remember if it's 5 years or 6 years already. People are still remember that moment. People still saw the impact on that by like being confident about themselves. That hey, you can do this. They met so many good friends. They met it kind of like opened so many opportunity for them. And every year we just like create like different big events, like for example the all women conference, like all women all our speakers were women. And the reason why we started this is we realized that during a technical conference in the Philippines, it's either one or two women are speakers, and I think I'm one of them. So technically where are the other women? But guess what, we were able to gather around 30 women that day to talk about technical stuff. It's a women can talk about technical stuff, right? We don't, it's not about like, it's not really about gender, right? It's about being able to share our knowledge to them. And we were able to encourage more women to get out there to speak, to join, to share, whether it was in person or online. So I guess for me, in the long run, for me, the biggest community success would be just like being able to like have this opportunity to like know these people, right? And everybody met new friends, especially that if you're working alone at home, right? And sometimes you don't go out, right? And but because there's this community that when you go out, you'll feel safe, you'll be yourself, you'll be able to be confident and learn new technologies without being judged or anything. I think for me that is the like the biggest success. That's what I think for us in Manila. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Shweta and Michi, and also Hope. That is amazing, and it's good to know that your community itself is growing, and you're bringing in amazing events for the community, which is like really important. Something that will interest them, and at the same time they'll grow their knowledge and also their network. Networking is very important, and I did not know the benefits of it unless I came into the career itself. It's like very important to have the networking ability as well. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now we come to almost the end of the panel discussion. So the last question for the day is, could you share with us how can our participants at Connect get involved in the Women Who Code community?
I can just, I'll take this, Anjali. Okay, guys. So actually, if you go to our website right now, womenocode.com/collaborate, you can see the different ways to get involved, right? You'll see that you can actually attend an event. Just attending an event, that's basically being involved, because it's a big step. Whether for you as a person, you want to learn new skills, new workshop and everything, or just meeting new friends, networking and stuff. Attending an event is the first step. And then if you're like, oh, of course, join a network. That's the easiest step. Join a network, find an event, right? You can also join the digital tracks. And if you're more like, let's say, by attending the event, you're more courageous, you want to like improve your skills and more, you can actually apply to speak, right? Everybody here in the speaker right now, those people who will be speaking today in Connect Recharge, they did apply to speak. And at the same time, if you want to step up, bring women of code to your city, sign up and be a director. Or if you want to like volunteer or be a leader, sign up. I think those are the things that you can get involved. But if you feel that you're still shy, but you still want to get involved, just a simple tweet, or just share an event, or share a technical resource that you found in the Women of Code site, maybe that can actually be a big help. So I think those are the things that you can be involved as a member. Or or if you want more, what else specifically, I think just
I can add one more thing. You can be member of different chapters as well at free of cost. So it's not going to
yes.
charge you anything. So that's the best part of Women of Code community.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree. Yeah. And what's so good about Women of Code is that we are all volunteers. Most of us are all volunteers here. And we're doing this on our own time because we want to help everybody, rise up, grow, be better in whatever career. It's really all about helping, right? Nobody's here to, let's say, oh, I have to be first or whatever. Everybody, help one another to,
Yeah.
reach. Yeah, right. Do you
We rise
agree?
by
Yeah.
lifting others. That's
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
we all rise
yeah,
together when we lift each other up. Yeah.
I totally agree. And so if you're actually interested to just be involved, you can check the site womenofcode.com/collaborate. If somebody can share that to the comment, like the
Yeah.
comments, the chat, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
that
it's
would be great.
already
yeah.
shared.
They've
Oh,
dropped
okay.
it there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michie, for summarizing it. Of course, Humano Code provides everybody with like various opportunities. In fact, for the question that we had asked initially, few of our members have responded, and I'll just quickly read out some of the responses. So Rosalie said that confidence, Humano Code gave her confidence that she can do well in the tech industry. Lisa said that support has made me more engaged and willing to take a risk. Soumya said, I gained the confidence to advance my skills and search for more inclusive workplaces to apply to. Shrishti said that Women Who Code gave me the platform to showcase my skills and the confidence to grow. Karina said, for me, the force of community impacts the lives of many women like mine. And there are many, many more responses. I am so happy, and it is so inspiring to learn about all of your experiences, including the audience today. I think the audience you had been like really lovely, and it was great to see the comments and the encouragement that you were showing in the chat. Not only that, I think the panel itself, Hope, Michie, and Shweta, you all were amazing, super inspiring, and I'm all charged up for the rest of the conference, and I hope all of you are too.
You.
Yeah,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. Thank
Have a great
you.
day.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the
Yeah.
conference.